she was sick. So we ended up going out to lunch with them, me and the kids, and my wife stayed at home. Didn't even see her parents. But yeah.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people getting sick lately.
Yeah. She took a COVID test. It wasn't COVID, so I don't know. No, there's something else going around. Just crud.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I feel fine. So knock on wood. Hopefully I stay healthy. That's the idea, at least. So we'll see. But without further ado, you ready to get into good old emo Billy Zane?
Yeah, let's do it.
As I call in this chapter, emo. So we start with the quote: "If only the deepness hadn't come when it did, providing the threat that drove men to depression in both action and belief." So more about the mysterious deepness, of course, in the beginning, and then we go straight into God talking to Zane, what he calls God.
God, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Air quotes. God. God whispers, "Kill him, kill him." Yeah.
When I first started this chapter, I was like, "Hold on, God? Wait, what? Hold on." My ears perked a lot. I was like, "Oh, we're getting into some goodness here. Let's go."
Let's go. It's gonna get interesting. Yeah. So he's in the mist. He's looking at Ellen, I guess, inside, from outside looking in, and he's a voice in his head whispering for him to kill Ellen. And he holds himself back, and thinks about, hey, he is my half brother, even though this pompous idiot that grew up in high nobility, and this is where you learn that that they're related.
Yeah,
that's its price.
Yeah, that, and just they keep talking about how Zane is just kind of hanging out, lingering right outside the window of Ellen, and it's like he could go in there and just erase the new king at any moment, but he's not. And like third time around, it's like, why? And then you find out, oh, they're related.
Yeah,
that's a huge, mind-blowing factoid, if you will.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that was interesting right off the bat.
Yeah. Adds a whole other layer to everything. I think I don't think Ellen even knows he has a brother. It's one of those things where this was kept secret from him.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of interesting that like that wasn't even like a dialogue. That was the narrator. Like that was just given to us by Sanderson.
Right. Yeah.
He wants you to know that. That's just a total plot twist right there.
Yeah.
Very nonchalant.
Yeah. So, Zane pulls himself. He doesn't listen to the voice in his head, pulls himself away from the, I guess, royal quarters and heads back out of Luthadel. And then we cut to him walking back into the venture camp, where very confidently. It says it doesn't slink, doesn't even try to hide. He just walks right up to the guards, and the guards like half asleep, like see someone coming, lower their spears, and he's just like, like who else do you think it is?
Yeah,
of course it's me. I'm like, Lord Zane, and it's like, yeah, wake His Majesty immediately. I need to talk to him. It's like, but it's late. He goes, did I stutter? I need to talk to him. And then while that argument's going on, the voice comes back again. Kill him. Kill the guard. So, I mean, what do you say?
Just kill everybody.
Kill everybody. Yeah. So what do you think about this voice? I mean, I'm going to keep going back to this. As soon as Alonda gets on, I'm going to ask him about this voice a lot. So what do you think it is? Do you think he's just crazy?
Yeah. Yes. I think he's crazy. I think he's got some serious issues. It's interesting that they name him God, that God is talking to him. I think that is a perception of Zane and Zane only. And Zane has personified this voice to be God to make himself feel better in some form or fashion, when really he's crazy and he's got, another voice in his head, which is really him. He's obviously gone through, maybe not obviously, but at this point, I think he's gone through a lot of stuff, and he is just batshit crazy. He's the neglected son, if you will. He's got some issues. That's face value right now, what I think.
Right. Yeah. It gives me like, if you're like, there's a movie made about it, Son of Sam, the killer in 1968, 69, somewhere around there. It was a serial killer who killed because he believed the dog next door was God and was telling him to kill people. He has that whole vibe where, God's telling him to do it. That's why
similar.
he's a serial killer. Yeah. Very similar to Son of Sam. I think that's the right serial killer. I'm not an expert. I don't do a whole lot of true crime. I did see that movie way back in the day, and I'm vaguely familiar, but it's been a long time. Someone might correct me in the comments, say like, no, that's not the case, but I think that's what the case was with him.
Yeah,
Crazy.
I mean, there's also the like deeper level where maybe the deepness, we don't know a lot about the deepness at this point. Maybe he's been influenced by that in some form or fashion, just because the script we read before the actual chapter talks about, like, what does it say? Drove men to desperation, both in action and belief. And like, it I think it starts in the mind, and then that influences the actions. So, I also was curious, maybe the deepness is at play here. But still, like, whether it's the deepness or some form of PTSD, I think it's something from the past that's causing him to act this way now. And it's not normal. It's irrational, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, hearing voices in your head is usually pretty crazy. That's kind of like one of those things that schizophrenia or whatever. It's normal. Son of Sam's right. Thank you, Todd. Yeah. So yeah. Crazy guy. That's your boy Todd, right? He's reading along with us, right? Or is he way ahead now at this point?
I think he might be ahead, but I'm sure he is.
No one wants to read at this pace. Unless you're doing a podcast.
He got hooked and just jumped straight in, which I understand.
I'm sure. Yeah, so kill him. He's not really important, is what God said, and he pushes back, ignores the thoughts, as the voice keeps on saying that. And goes into to meet with his father.
Yep.
So I guess anything from all the soldier interaction before we get to Straff?
No, not really. I mean, he walks into the camp like he's a boss, and it's kind of like, are the soldiers in fear of him because they know he's crazy, or are they in fear of him because they know he's Straff's son? But they're kind of six, one half dozen or the other at this point.
It's a Mistborn. I mean, Mistborns are Mistborns.
Yeah.
So,
right.
It is what it is. Yeah. So, he walks through the camp. Straff's tent's like a blazing red. Obviously still awake. All the lights are on. Straff's not sleeping at this point, and he comes in, and Straff's not even close to sleep. He's like, "You're late." And of course, the first thing that he thinks is, God says, "Kill him. Kill Straff now. Like, just kill everyone." Just bloodbath everywhere. And Zane's like, "Yeah, I am." And it gets a little report, It's like, well, tell me what happened. He's like, well, yeah, Ellen, hasn't quite agreed. He kind of blew me off, but I went there and met with them, and he's not opposed to the idea of meeting and talking about forming some kind of alliance against Set. And
there's more to be built here, I guess, but I didn't really have a whole lot of thoughts other than it seems like Zane, there's a power struggle, kind of similar with Ellen, where like their dad is still in power in terms of the patriarchy, if you will. And I think the voices are a depiction, I guess, of Zane's desire to be in control and in power, but his dad is still, in the seat. And so
good question from chat. Do you think his viewpoint on how Mistborns are treated is viewed as accurate? That they're just tools? Like he told Vin that in the previous chapter, but just from this interaction with Straff.
Depends on the society and the culture that you're in, I guess. I mean, he is like casting that poison on Vin, and Vin is with, Breeze and Ham and all of them and Ellen, where, she could be led to believe that she's a tool in that scenario, but she could also be led to believe that like she's held in high regard and she's a valuable member of their group.
Sure.
When you look at Zane, I think it's easier to believe that he is kind of a tool for his dad and for their structure. So I think it depends. It can be accurate, but it's not always accurate.
Sure. Yeah.
Sure.
I think that's how. I mean, obviously, it's how Zane views everything, but
it's very.
I think I guess it depends on who's it coming from. Do you think Ellen views Vin that way, but Straff definitely views
no, absolutely
not. And I think Straff views Zane that way as a tool. Like, even in his inner thoughts with God, in quotes, kill him. You hate him. He kept you in squalor, forced you to fight for your survival as a child. So, I mean, Straff was no friend to Zane growing up. I mean,
yeah.
So
sure.
So then we get his way of coping with the voice inside his head, because it keeps on growing, and he's actually, I don't know if it's because he's thinking about giving in to the voice, but picks up a knife, starts cutting himself to distract himself from it.
Yeah, I think at that point the voice had gotten the best of him, and he was getting ready to act on it. And instead of acting on it, he just decided to self-harm, I guess you could call it, which also crazy, unfortunate. Yeah. But yeah, a lot of people do cope with stuff that way. So it's hashtag mental health.
Hashtag mental, yeah, exactly. Distract themselves. I mean, isn't that like one of the ways to like cheat? They say like to cheat lie detector tests, like you put a tack in your shoe or whatever and create pain. Because they'll throw off the meter and everything like that, because it overwhelms any of the other emotions that you might be feeling. So if every single question you're just feeling pain, like it'll just read out the same.
Just push it in a little farther. Sure.
Yeah, I think that's something I read once. Never tried it. But I think a knife to the arm's a little bit extreme, but hey, cuts a long gash in the top of his arm, drawing blood. And what do you think about this whole dynamic too with the ATM? That's one thing I was going to ask you and Alondo about was, Straff obviously is using ATM as like I'll give you more ATM if you pay attention. And Zane even's like, he thinks he's like, I'm gonna play along because he thinks that actually it's like a drug or something like that. Like, I care less whether they have ATM.
Yeah. I actually need to go revisit that, but Straff definitely makes it seem like it's kind of like almost like he's like a modern day heroin addict or something. But right. Zane's attitude is like, I'm gonna play along so that my dad keeps thinking he's in power. Right. That was. I think that was pretty much it from my end.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of these little things you pick up on. I mean, like he also thinks about killing Straff because I think he wants to. He doesn't like Straff, but at the same time, he's like, well, then who would rule the Venture family? He says, I can't. I'm crazy. I mean, even at least he knows that. He admits that he's crazy and he can't hold it together. And during this whole conversation, there's a lot, like I said, a lot of these little nuggets. I mean, they talk about Vin a little bit, and Straff kind of flippant says, like, do you actually believe this story's boy? Like, she's not all that. Like, she didn't kill the Lord Ruler. That's all just made up. And who knows if they actually had the ATM or not. Like, in fact, you need to give her some more. Like, it's just really interesting dynamic and Straff playing at.
Do you think that he said that because he thinks that like he and Vin have like a drug fueled relationship? Like, do you think Straff really looks at it as like a crutch?
I think so. I mean, that's
he doesn't really know the power behind it,
right? And probably thinks that like, because I don't know. I mean, because Straff says 10 eye, so I mean, he is an Allomancer. But I guess I don't think he fiends off 10. but maybe he thinks that Allomancer or that Mistborn's obsessed over ATM. And I think it's more because of the rarity of it, not necessarily because they need it. Like, if that makes sense. Like it's really cool what it does, but it's not like a drug. You don't need it.
You're still powerful in and of yourself without it.
True, and it's not. Yeah, it's not something that's a necessity or something you can fiend after.
Yeah.
So it then gets to the whole point about the tea. So yeah, he sniffs the tea after taking a couple drinks of it. He's like, "You poisoned my tea again." He's like, "Yeah, I did." Birch pain. And Zane's actually impressed. He's like, I mean, I know you're 10 and you have enhanced senses, but pretty good. You can smell that. Yeah, I thought that was pretty clever this time. Or at least get the idea that it was him. I don't know if it, or maybe he throws it off that it's not him. I can't remember which way it was. But no, he says, like, if I actually wanted to kill you, I would just kill you. Like, obviously, I'm just testing you. Like, so he doesn't admit that he did it, but he's like, I have no intent of you not finding out. I know you'd find out. I'm just because.
Yeah, which I don't really buy. I think he was actually trying to kill him, but just didn't try hard enough. I think it was a weak attempt, and he had to play it off.
Okay. By poisoning his father?
Yeah. I think that this guy is just completely screwed up and doesn't even know what he's doing. I think he honestly forgot he was gonna. I think he told the girl who was, who handed him the tea. I think he forgot he even did that, like set that up initially, and then waltzes back in. He's like, "Oh yeah, I forgot. I tried to poison you and told this girl to do it." Yeah, no, I wasn't really trying to do that. Good catch, though. I was just testing you.
And Straps, Zane, what if you did manage to actually kill me? And Zane thinks, if I actually wanted to kill you, I'd use the knife, not the poison. That's what Zane thought. So he didn't say it. He just thought it.
Right.
Yeah. But he kind of shrugs off. Is like, just, this is unoriginal, Zane. If you're going to kill me, at least do better.
Yeah. I think the thoughts that Zane have are a lot more powerful than what he actually acts on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Zane's weird.
Zane is very strange.
Weird dude.
He's a weird guy. For sure. Yeah, it says, do you understand half of my, you presume too much of what I'm planning, Zane. Okay, it says, to find the ATM. Okay. Zane says you should attack. We can find the ATM once we control Lethadel. And that's where he says, don't presume, about my planning, Zane. You don't understand half of what you assume. What of your spy? And he says, he's worried you might be suspect him. I found out information about the ATM. So who do you think the spy is?
I still have no clue.
Okay.
We get into it a little bit later, but it's really hard to tell. I mean,
who the Conjure is.
Yeah.
So you think this? You think they're the same? That spy is the Conjure? Or is it someone else? Is there more people in the works?
Yeah, I mean, the spy could be different than the Conjure. I don't know.
I mean, the Conjure makes sense.
I mean, yeah, at this point, I'm anticipating that the spy is the spy and the Conjure is the Conjure, and there's probably another third something that's a spy or a Conjure that we don't even know about yet.
I mean, in times of war, there's probably a lot of counter espionage going on every which way. You think back to like Cold War period, even today, there's tons of spies everywhere. If you ever watch spy TV shows like The Americans or something like that, or there's a bunch of these things out there, but counter espionage and espionage are a real thing that still happens today. That's for sure. And that's not sugarcoat. I mean, I say Cold War. And the reason why I emphasize today is Cold War was the height of all these movies and stuff like that, with Russian spies and things like that. But obviously, even today, there's spying going on.
Yeah. I mean, this whole scene with the tea just kind of baffled me,
Hmm.
um, because it was an attempt for Zane to come in, and he was waltzing in very confidently, getting ready to tell his dad, I have this news that I just learned from Luthadel, and this is going to give me a leg up. And lo and behold, he comes in, and his dad just flips him on his head and
Mm-hmm.
pins him to the ground with his, dad psychology. And next thing you know, he's drinking this tea that his son poisoned to
Yeah.
show him, you can't kill me. It's like I kind of forgot about the whole spy part just because of how ridiculous it was for like the tea part. But
Yeah. Yeah.
uh,
But he orders them to return to the city and continue to befriend the girl, being Ven. So Strath's pushing for that. And then Zane leaves and we switch to Strath's point of view. So anything more from Zane before we switch over to Strath, who is an asshole?
Zane is 100% a tool for Straff.
Oh yeah, 100%.
He's 100% a tool in that regard.
Yeah.
But other than that, he's also just batshit crazy and poor guy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you feel bad for him?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like beyond repair.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
pretty sad. But other than that, no.
Okay.
I'm over it.
Yep. All right. So we switch to Straff, who immediately calls for, I guess, one of his women that used to be one of his women, but now she's gotten to the ripe old age of like 28, which is too old and ugly now for him.
Right.
Says, yeah. So basically, Straff's Leonardo DiCaprio, right? Just once they turn too old, trades them for younger ones. But kept her around because she has the ability to make antidotes really well. She has a skill, so it keeps her around. But obviously, used to be, I guess, one of his concubines or something like that. But now he just keeps her around for that. But she still comes in, thinking that's why he called on her.
Starts to undress.
Yeah, he's like, don't do that. Just put your clothes back on. I need the antidote. I've been poisoned. Like, it's like, which antidote? All of them. Just give me all of them. Like at that point, his speech started to like seize up, and I guess his arms started hurting. Like, I mean, the effects were starting to kick in.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have much time to, he needed the antidote before he died.
Which that's really interesting because for him to drink the potion or the tea to show his son like, I'm not afraid of you, or like, you can't kill me kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty bold move. I mean, like that shows weakness of Straff. I mean, Straff knows like his son could overthrow him if he wasn't crazy. If he was a little more sane and clear thinking, clear headed, he's way more powerful physically and mentally than Straff is. But Straff is just more experienced. So
yeah,
for him to do that, like it kind of shows like a little bit of like desperation, weakness in Straff.
Yeah.
But Straff has all these systems in place, i.e., this potion lady. Orlando, look.
What is going on, guys? Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, you're just fine.
Nice.
So I'll catch you up real fast where we are. We just got done talking about Billy Zane and everything with
Billy
him.
Zane.
So the cut into the arm.
Emo Zane.
Zane being Ellen's brother.
Dum dum dum.
All that fun stuff, and just crazy, and God talking to him. So
yeah.
Do you have thoughts or notes about all that before we move to? We're just moving to Straff point of view.
I every time he said something about God talking to him, all I thought about was if you guys remember that movie Real Genius, where it's like my man, so there's the dude that's like the professor, and he's like, it goes from God down to so and so, down to you to the cleaners or whatever. And so he talks about like how like he's like, the the super professor. He's like the smartest guy. He's like, God tells him what to do or whatever. It's like a throwaway line, and that's all I can think of the whole time.
Yeah.
But I'm listening to the audiobook, and I was like, I hope God is spelled GAWD or something like that.
God. Yeah. It's spelled G-O-D. Sorry. And I think it's capitalized too. Capital G.
Oh, boo.
Yeah, I think it is. Let me just double check. Yes, it is.
Cop out.
God said kill him.
Either way, do you think that like God, G-O-D or G-A-W-D, took the form of like a bag of antlers, or more like a cologne bottle? Like, what do you think this God looks like?
Oh man, this God is an ethereal man beast upon men. Just just muscles rippling. No, wait, back it up. This God looks like Alanis Morissette from Dogma. Boom, there it is. There it is. Boom, posted, got him.
Alanis Morissette from Dogma. Great movie, by the way. Great movie.
I love that movie so damn much. And then if you ever get into it, there's this whole suck hole you can go into to find out how come it's not available anywhere. Because if you notice, it never streams anywhere.
It's available on YouTube. You can watch the whole movie on YouTube for free.
Yeah, but somebody's uploaded it.
Yeah,
essentially, it's not an official, one. But there's reasons why you can't find that movie.
Oh yeah, I know.
It's crazy. Get into it. Get into that whole thing. I'm sorry about the segue. Just to you guys put me on track. Yeah, you're great. And by the way, I'm only excited because I get I'm sure you told everybody to break. Reason why I couldn't.
Yeah, it's a work thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to break away for another meeting call at 10:30 or 11 o'clock. So
okay. Well, so I think we might be done.
So I'm gonna enjoy drinking and hanging out with you guys right now because I deserve it.
Yeah, no, you do. So, any other thoughts you have about Zane before we move to Straff, our good old boy?
Well, I mean, all those notes about him being crazy, he said something about it last time. So kind of comes into perspective because before it was like, oh, he thinks he's crazy. It's like maybe it's just because he's just been around long enough and seen some things. Then you kind of find out, oh no, he's got some inner voices. Yeah, he's got the troubles, air quotes, the troubles. So yeah.
Yep. And yes, Zool, that is my dog doing ear flaps, shaking her head and flapping her ear. If you hear that in the background.
Oh,
there's not a bird flying around the background. It's my dog Chessie, just shaking her head.
Gotcha.
Oh, that's who you're talking about with Chessie. I know Chessie.
Yeah, Chessie. Yeah. She's been on stream before on the Little Reads. Every once in a while, I'm saying her name and she's just dead asleep next to me. So I guess she's tired. Busy day for her. Anyways, so you both have met Chessie. You've both been in my house.
Yeah.
My good girl. Straff. So yeah, Straff's been poisoned at this point. Calls in his too old at the ripe old age of 28 woman to be concubine anymore. Just keeps her around for the antidotes.
Well, her breasts don't look the same.
Yeah, well, you get too old. She's starting to get little crow's feet. It's just not his thing anymore.
But he brought only 10 or 15 of his favorites.
Yeah.
This guy's got a harem. Jesus.
Yeah.
10 or 15
of his
favorites.
Yep.
Good gracious.
Yeah.
But this is the potion favorite.
That's a lot of tennis bracelets. That's all I'm saying. Because y'all know the rule. The rule is the mistresses get the tennis bracelets. That's the rule.
Yeah. Yeah, Straff is gross. That's a pretty accurate description of Straff. Yeah.
Oh, he is the worst.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yep. But yeah, so he still keeps her around though. She comes in thinking that it's for a romantic booty call or something like that, and he's like, "No, put your clothes back on."
Oh yeah, she exposes a breast cyst.
Yeah, she starts taking her clothes off. And he's like, "No, keep your clothes on. I've been poisoned. I need an antidote." And she's like, "Which one?" He's like, "I don't know, but there's birchman there, but there's something else too. I'm not sure what it is, but I'm about to die right now. Just give me something." She's like, "All right."
This dude ingested the poison purposefully, though. He slow drank it like the worst white lightning moonshine and was like, I'm gonna show you. He basically did a frat boy move. Watch me drink this poison. And then he's like all trying to act cool, calm, and collected,
As
while,
like,
emo Zane is like, kind of like walking out the room and stuff. Then he's like, hey, hurry up, call that lady.
but to die.
My liver's about to explode.
Yep.
Poor dude.
Pretty much. Yeah.
What a power trip.
Yeah. So he gets this little antidote and drinks it and then tells her to leave. And yeah.
That's pretty much it, right?
Pretty much it, yeah.
Yeah.
Straff. Good old Straff. But, we get a little bit of. We have no idea what his plan is. I mean, Zane tries to like prod at him for it during that interaction, but he's just like, "You assume too much. You don't know my plans." But obviously, he does want to meet with Ellen.
Did you guys talk about, by the way, the lady in the whole poisoning plan, blah blah blah?
Mm-hmm.
None of that made any lick of sense to me.
What, Zane poisoning him?
Well, first of all, he knew she was going to try to poison, right?
Mm-hmm.
He knew that the young lady was going to try to poison that tea.
Right.
It is clear, based on what Stratus said, that this is not the first time this has tried to occur. No. So, essentially, number one, Billy Emo Zane sent this girl to her death because he didn't really was forceful about stopping her and saying, "No, don't try to do the poison thing. I've seen him do this. He's got the miracle. What do they call that? Bezoar, I think is what it's called in Harry Potter. It's like a little thing you take and like nullifies all poison." So he's already seen him overcome poison before. Knew he sniffed it out, so he's probably sniffed it out before, and he still let her be in that situation. I'm like, he sacrificed her for what? For nothing.
Yep.
So I hated Zane.
He's the evil twirling mustache guy. Yeah,
I hated him. Hated him. So
yeah,
sorry.
Yep.
Had to get that out.
Different type of thing.
Does Straff actually have plans, or is he just winging it?
Oh, he's winging it. So, look, if Straff had plans, he would have anticipated the poison and had this girl on the ready. No, he had to go snap fingers like, get her. I'm like, it's all a ploy. It's all puffery. And I feel like he has no plan. And that's the reason why I feel like that's going to be his downfall, is he's got no real plans, and he has no idea who's going to double cross him, and he's winging it, and eventually that's going to come back to bite him.
Yeah,
mark my words.
Are treating the woman who is the one who saves you that poorly. Like,
oh my god, shoot! I mean, he's like, oh snap, blah blah blah. It's like, it's kind of like mistreating your waiter or waitress at a restaurant.
Oh yeah.
You don't mistreat the people that take care of you and provide your sustenance.
Your food. Yeah. Don't mess with people that make your food.
Look, 2 movies I tell people to watch. If you really want to find out what might happen to your food, Waiting is one, and the other is Road Trip. When my man is pissed off about his French toast. Horatio Sands, he does an amazing thing. Anyway, Road Trip, put that movie on your list. You'll love it.
As someone who's worked in restaurants before, and so does Will, yes. I know. I can either confirm or deny that cooks are really petty and shady people.
No, never.
Never.
Nothing foreign has ever been introduced into your food or drink, ever.
Yeah, I try to tell my wife that too. Like my wife will complain about stuff. I'm like, just don't complain. Just order something else. Like, because I know certain establishments it's okay to do that in, and other establishments that I know too well, and I know some of the cooks that work back there, and I know they won't because they know me. But it's one of those things where I'm like, don't do that. Just don't piss them off, because you're going to send that back because you didn't order it right the first time. Like yep. In case she's listening, she might come down and yell at me for this. But like sometimes she'll forget and then she'll like, oh no, I didn't want that. I'm like,
eat it anyway.
Just eat it anyway at this point.
There's a reason. Look, and y'all have now been out with me at places. There's a reason why I know almost every server, every bartender, everybody, everywhere I go, because I want to make sure I got good vibes with everyone, because they look after you, they take care of you.
It's one thing if they messed up and you send it back, 100% justifiable. you
Then be
didn't
nice about
order it
it.
right,
Be
and then
nice
you want to
about
make
it.
changes and like demand
Sure.
it, like
Yeah.
oh, that's especially on a busy night. Cooks don't have time for that.
Oh hell no.
They're so slim.
I know. Man, Will, you got the allergies, man.
I'm telling you, dude, it's like 3 weeks strong.
Yeah, I mean, some of my employees have the same problems. Got terrible allergies right now. Leaves getting ready to fall. So
It's wild. But
Yeah.
it's one thing if you mess up the order and you get it back, you can't say anything back. If it comes to you messed up, then
Yeah.
you either A, don't say anything, which is highly recommended, or B, if you say something, you got to say it in the right way.
Sure.
mhm.
Unless
Yep.
it's
And
like
then that's
egregious,
gotta be
like
delivered by
unless it's like
waitstaff.
egregious, like if it's like something like really, really bad. Like so, I went to a restaurant and literally ordered like grilled chicken, and they only cooked one side.
Oh, that's dangerous.
Like yeah, and I
no,
cut
no,
into
no.
it and like looked down, and half of the chicken is completely raw, and I'm like,
Uh-huh.
at that point, I was like,
That's when you could literally
Yeah.
walk that back yourself and be like, "Come on, dude! Like,
come on, man.
Right,
Like, what are you
right.
guys doing back here? Come on,
Mhm,
like,
mhm.
like, this is rookie shit right now. Like,
Right. This Bush League.
it's
Yeah.
bush league.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Back to the story. She didn't do that. She just did what she was told.
she did.
She just did what she was told.
Yeah.
Anyway,
No.
sorry I took us off this tangent, but
Yeah.
Zane pissed me off.
Yeah.
Strap
dude,
pissed me off too. So yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Good old
Love a
Zane.
good tangent.
Like
a lot of
father,
people,
like-
I've had people describe Zane as like that stereotypical edge lord, like super edge lord. Like,
Oh yeah. Now that you've said it, I can't unsee it.
like just
Edgelord all day.
Edgelord.
Yes, definitely Edgelord.
He's an
Oh
edgelord.
God, yes.
through and through, crazy,
Yeah,
but just
yeah.
full of himself at the same time though, like complete full of himself, like confident, full of himself, but like
Yep.
but insane.
Alan, can we pose the same question about the spy to Alondo since he wasn't here for it?
Yeah, so that was one question that came up. Who's the spy? Because there's that line, what if your spy? Straff asked, and Zane said he's worried that they might suspect him. He has found no information about the ATM.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
So you're asking me who I think the spy is right now?
Yeah.
I
Like,
mean,
is the spy the Condra, or is this something different? That was one question.
I never thought about him being two different people. I mean, that's possible. So I had thoughts about who I thought the spy was until we get to the end of the third chapter we're reading today, and Vin's like trying to do like some like her own like logic and stuff, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, sure. So yeah, I'm kind of, to be dead honest with you, I kind of don't care who the spy is. To be dead honest with you, I don't really care because right now I feel like they're the equivalent of a cat pushing a pillow off of a table. It's like, okay, great, you annoyed me. I mean, what are they really doing?
I said that the spy could be the Condra, could be the spy, and there could be a third Condra spy.
Well, because Condras can't kill people, right? So it's like, what is the Condra really going to be able to do? Condra's going to go back and report on some stuff. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
So that's the reason why it's got really low. It's got really low priority in my book right now. So that's just me personally, my thoughts.
I wanted to hear your answer on that because when they asked me that, I was like, that's a really good question, but I still have no freaking clue. And maybe there's a reason for it. So we're on the same page, Londo. We're on the same page.
Okay, good deal.
All right. Guys ready for chapter 19?
No.
All right.
Yes.
Chapter 19. If only I had passed over Lindy when looking for an assistant all those years ago. It's a little beginning. And we're back in Sazed's point of view. And also, this is the reason why I wore blue and a little loose-fitting blue tonight.
God damn, I hate you right now. I hate you right
you
now.
wear that every week.
It's the only shirt I have, actually. So I just wear it every day.
It's the only clean shirt he's got.
It's the only clean shirt I have. So, I just take it, kind of shake it around a little bit, get the stink out, get the skull stink out. And, just keep it going. So Sazed is making his way towards Citadel. Everything's going pretty well. It's talking about his steel mine and his metal mines and all the different things about refueling it. And then stumbles upon something in his way. He halted. He stood near the channel, looking out over towards Citadel, and climbs a tree to look over, get a better view. It looks like there's another army there. He had heard about, he hadn't. I think at this point he hadn't even heard about the other two armies.
Oh yeah, he knows nothing about that because he's
he doesn't know
surprised
about
when
that.
it comes up.
Yeah, he just sees there's an army like only a couple weeks out from Luthadel. He's like, this is not good. So he goes, up and puts his tin on so he can see really far and really close by him. And I think by the forgotten gods, Stacey whispers, shocked. It's an army of Koloss. Mm-hmm. So quickly he starts going through his copper mine, trying to okay, I got something on Koloss up there. All right, there it is. All right, yeah. So, yeah, they're messed up people. And you can see them, and he's trying to get an idea, and he's heard they're pretty much savages. He knows they keep them on the outskirts, away from the cities because they're unpredictable and very violent and crazy. And the Lord Ruler really uses them to squash way outside rural type things. If if invading army from outside were to come in, you'd send the calls after them. Where it didn't matter what, just gets destroyed in the process because they're just. And he starts, viewing them and watching and notices they're all different sizes and makes a lot of comments on what they look like. Their skin that sags, but as they get bigger, their skin just doesn't grow with them. It just stretches into it and starts ripping. And yeah. And some are small, some are 12 feet, 15 feet tall.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, they all have the last name Flaps of Skin to me. Yeah. All right. You want to refer to your neighbor Jimmy Flaps of Skin, because again, this skin's tearing and the whole thing is just
Just want to talk about how cool it is that Sazed ran. He said 12 weeks of running in 6 days or something like that.
Yeah, it was 6 weeks of running in 6 days. So basically, he ran a week a day.
Yeah,
Farakini is so cool.
That is, he's that's beyond godlike, dude, right there. And
then he gets there and he's like, "Wait, what are these smoke signals? Let me climb this tree really quick. All right, we're good." Dude's awesome. But he's scoping out the Koloss.
Yeah, see bags of antlers, flaps of skin. Yeah. You can see there's a theme. There's a thread here.
There's a thread going. Yeah.
Yep.
He also notices that he recalls that once they grow a certain size, they grow too big and their heart can't support them anymore, so they just die.
Yep.
Yeah. He doesn't know how they really procreate. So there's none that are kids. They're all adults. None are kids.
Yeah. And the pouches. We still don't know what the pouches are.
Yeah, the pouches. Yeah, they're all carrying these pouches. They all have these big sword type things. Red drop eyes. The skin sagged, revealing.
Oh, you don't have to go into definition. No, I don't need to know details. No. You can keep that to yourself, sir.
It was a stomach turning sight.
And by the way, I assume that the bag is where they store the testes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go.
The testes. I haven't heard that.
Scrotum sacks.
And then, so he distinguishes his tin mine, goes back to normal vision, and you realize one of the downsides of using his tin mine is that while he's using enhanced, can't see really anything going around him. It's not like the 1,000-year stare.
Help me out, guys. So this is where Sanderson lost me. He lost me because I was like, no. Why would it only enhance your vision far off or your hearing far off and not enhance locally, right?
So it's different than allomancy. So the way I look at a ferrochemy when using your tin mine is it's like putting binoculars on.
Okay,
Like,
so we're
you
saying
can
it's because
focus
it's
in.
okay. We're saying it's because it's difference between ferrochemy and allomancy.
So allomancy enhances everything. The tin enhances everything. You can hear all the
Okay.
little scrapes and whips and everything
Okay.
around you. Or
Okay.
ferrochemy, when you're putting the tin mine on, it's like, I think of it like putting binoculars on. Like, you can
I see.
focus in and
Okay.
see something, but now you can't see because your binoculars are on. Like, you
Right.
can't see anything
Okay.
around you.
Because we've already been exposed to the idea that some metals don't work exactly the same way between the two things.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
in my head, I was like ready to drop the book and like, burn it in the fire and be like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
But okay, but if we're talking the difference between ferrochemy and allomancy,
That's it. Yeah.
get it.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of stuff we still don't know about ferrochemy.
Ferrochemy, yeah.
Right now.
So that's the way I always look at it for the tin mine. Like, you can focus on something and hearing, like with the tin mine, and like and focus in, but then you can't hear anything close by. Just laser focus on something.
Right. Because even came up, I think at one point in time, about the whole, I can't remember which metal it is that ferrochemy uses to stay young. I forget which one it was, but whatever that metal is, someone will correct us in the chat. Whatever that metal is, has a completely different use in allomancy.
Yes.
So that's another example, because it came up about the Lord Ruler being young using whichever metal it was.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for clarifying that, because I was getting ready to be like, oh, no. You guys messed up. This is like
you're making your eyes
something wrong with
farsighted
this.
so you can not see anything up close. Everything up close just becomes a blur.
Okay.
Everything far up becomes really focused.
Again, makes perfect sense now. It's been explained to me. So thank you. Yep.
So anyway, he turns his tin mine off and he's like, oh, crap. And, he's in the tree stand and realizes he's surrounded by a Kolos patrol. Come down now.
Yeah. It's like some Hobbit stuff.
And he's quick on his feet. He starts to figure out, okay, can I take him? I pretty much depleted my running, getting this far. So I don't know if I can outrun him, but I got enough pewter to probably grow big and probably take him. But is that worth it as well? And he says, they seem pretty calm. I guess maybe I'll cautiously go down and test it out.
Yeah.
I guess. Cautiously, he prepares his pewter before he goes down, and he steps down and he goes to dig into his bag, and they immediately snatch his bag from him. He's like, no, I'll take it. It's like, I need those back. I really do need my bag. And he's like, there's nothing in there that'll hurt you. They're like, be quiet.
And he's like, it's worthless. He's like, it's worthless metal. He's like, there's nothing in there that's like actually
there's nothing in there. Yeah.
No value.
They just tell him to be quiet and follow, and come follow. And there's slurred talk, lumbering. They're very slow walking. And as the lead Cullis is taking him back into the camp, walks into some other random Cullis and just attacks him randomly.
What the hell was this all about? Just
it
turns out like slaughter time. I'm like, what? And no words exchanged. Just like,
so just kills a guy.
Yep.
It's
Wrong time of day for you, my guy.
What the hell was that? He goes, I didn't like him.
I always hated him.
But takes his little bag.
Yeah.
Still don't know what's into the bag.
Little scrotum bag. Get it?
Yeah. What's in the bag?
We don't want to know.
Yeah,
we don't want to know.
But yeah, so I have this little gift for you guys. It's the what's in the box.
What's in the box? Yep. What's in the scrotum bag? We don't know.
What's in the scrotum bag? I don't know. But yeah. So it takes him to camp, unharmed, straight to a tent, and kind of drops him off. And there are humans deeper inside the camp. So the Sazed's shocked by, and I guess but at the same time, he's like, I guess someone had to lead them, but who's crazy enough to do this?
Yeah, it's like first he gets handed off to a couple of humans, and he's like, "Oh, okay, I'm getting handed off to these dudes," and they're like all kind of trepidatious around, the flapsmen.
Yeah,
I'm gonna call them that right now.
The flapsmen.
And then he's like, "Wait a minute! So there's like humans running this game?" It's like, which is what I would be saying too if I just saw just a herd of freaking Mongols or something just hanging around, and then just talking
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden it's just like it's like civilized dudes just sitting in the back. It's like, why aren't you slaughtered?
Yeah.
And that's the question, by the way. I'm still trying to figure this out because I'm not getting my head wrapped around how they are beholden to. I'm gonna call him Scrappy Doo. To do this leading things right here. We're gonna get to him in a second, but I'm gonna call him Scrappy Doo for now. Why are they following any direction? What is he providing them that they can't get on their own? Right? I mean, they have the strength to go out and kill things. They eat freaking, supposedly, this has been a rumor, grass, dirt, whatever they got to eat,
they got, yeah.
so that way they can survive. So what do they need, Scrappy Doo for? And I'm like, okay. So there's something there that we don't know about yet.
Yeah.
I want to hear that.
Yeah. I just say Rafa.
I hope it's catnip. I like that. I like the comment, catnip.
Catnip. That's what they got. They got catnip.
He's got catnip.
So it seems like a recipe for overthrow, right? I mean, even when we're not quite there yet, but even when Sazed goes into the tent, there's some angst.
Colas are unhinged, and it shows. And I think that's the reason why they showed that. I mean, why Brandon decided to write such a crazy scene of them coming in and like just casually killing another one of them, like just to show like how they are like not
Scott Treats. I'm sorry, I read that comment. I'm sorry. Scott Treats. Yes. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Thank you.
Well, you're on the podcast. You don't have to type it. You just say it.
It's fun though. I like the comment too.
I like the comments too. Scott Treats. Scott Treats.
Sorry.
But they wanted to show like how unhinged or how brutal Colas are.
Well, yeah.
And I think that gets the point.
At any point, they could just snap your neck.
Yeah. So any alliance you create is sketchy at best.
Null and void.
Yeah.
That's right. Right out the gate. It's just like, hey, have you met my friends Null and Void?
Can we be friends? Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Bad friends.
So the humans, the guards take him first, and they take the possessions. Colas give him the possessions, and they start going through his bag, and he's like, "Can I have my stuff back? Like, there's no weapons in there." Like, like he starts pulling out like the rings and bracelets. It's like no precious metals. They mean nothing to you. They're tools of a keeper, of a talisman. Like, can I have them back? Like, we'll see what His Majesty has to say about it. She's like, all right, let's go talk to him. It's like, all right, let's do it. So they go into this tent and open it up, and sure enough, it's a Luthadel nobleman that Sazed recognizes that we've met, Jastes.
Yeah, which I had to be reminded of because I was like, why do I know the name?
Yeah, Jastes was one of Ellen's friends in his little circle that actually warned Ellen about Ven, didn't trust Ven, and had ordered people to follow her around in book 1 and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Yep.
So Jastes Lacal. King Lacal, as he corrects. Says it real fast.
Yeah, King Lacal. Sure.
So, do I know you, Terraceman? He goes, we've not met, Your Majesty, but I have dealings with a friend of yours. I think King Ellen Venture of Luthadel. And so immediately, Jastes puts 2 and 2 together and thinks that Sazed is a steward of Ellen. And starts treating him in that way.
Right.
You know, like, why is Ellen sending a spot? Does someone spy on me? And he's like, no one sent me. I'm just traveling through. And he goes, well, who do you work for? You must work for Ellen. He's like, no, Ellen got rid of that whole system. Like, we don't work for anybody anymore. We kind of can do our own thing now. Like, there's my free. He's like, no, you'll come work for me now. It's like, not going to happen. But let me tell you what is going to happen.
Sazed uses the logic on him, though.
Yeah.
I mean, like, every bit of this, though, Sazed it's like, I know you're not ready to hold me prisoner. Blah, 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 blah. He lays the story out nice. And he's like, he makes it so obvious. He's like, nah, you weren't really prepared to, like, keep me as a prisoner, blah, blah, blah. You know, and you also don't want to, like, you know, get these guys interested in eating human meat, throw me out there like that, because then they might get interested in eating you too. But it's just again, man, Sazed, he's like
you
on
don't
the
want to get a taste for humans, because if you get a taste for humans, it's not
once
gonna
you get that taste,
yeah, you don't want that. No,
once you get that fat back,
yeah. This is also where Sazed learns about Set and Straff, because he's like he says, I'll give Ellen a better deal
because he didn't know.
Straff well, and Sazed just thinks to himself like, oh shit, I really do need to get back to Luthadel. Like,
he's like, what the hell's been going on since I've been gone?
What's happening? Yeah. What has Venture gotten himself into? And he says, somehow I doubt a better deal involves the use of Kolos, Your Majesty. Says, there's a reason why they keep the Kolos away from the cities. Like,
how are you going to sell that?
Yeah, how are you going to sell marching with a Kolos army? Like, and Justice is kind of trying to say, well, I'm controlling them so far, and says he's interested in trying to figure out how. But at the same time, it doesn't. Justice won't give away his secrets on how he's doing it. But he's, hey, they didn't kill you, did they? He's like, yeah, you're playing with fire though. Like, you're just you're really playing with fire here. Like,
because even
I don't know what you don't know what you're doing, do you?
Right? Because even said the Lord Ruler wasn't like really like he kind of controlled him, but it was trepidatious at best, right?
At best, yeah. So, like he could just point them in the right direction and let them do their thing. Like not.
He didn't keep them. Look. If they were that loyal, he would have kept them close in his inner circle or around him as an army, which he obviously did not. So,
yeah,
that says a lot. That he's like, I don't even want him like near me. I'll point in the direction, and you can go send them off to go do the things that they do, I guess. Yeah. But other than that, he was like, I don't trust him like that. So,
yeah. And I love this thought that Caesar has. One bankrupt on coin, the other bankrupt on common sense. Very well. I'll go speak to Ellen as your messenger. That's
a Sazedism right there. That's a good one though too.
Yeah.
Who's bankrupt on coin though? Is that Ellen?
Ellen, yeah. He's got
Yeah. And pretty much convinces them, King waves his hand in annoyance, says it withdraws. And says he goes to a quiet place to study, apparently chosen the wrong, and he thinks I chose the wrong direction to run, apparently. But yeah, so that's what we end this chapter. I mean, what are your thoughts on, obviously they're the grotesque Kolosar, but just on Jastes and all this, now another, I guess, wrench in the overall everything going on, because now we have this third army now marching towards that's friends, well, was at least friends with Ellen.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, do you trust Jastes? He seems a little unhinged.
So, look, for him to be this desperate, the first thing I thought was for him to make this alignment with this, we will call him like, I don't know, humanoid army. Okay. Not humans, obviously. And then it's like, who's he aligning with? It seems like it's just him and just a bunch of random, like, heads under him. And then they're like leading this, like, the, army of like, I keep calling them orcs in my head. And I'm like, the whole thing, it just sounds crazy suspect, because it's like he was like sounded like he was refined before, and now he's aligned with like just the dregs. I'm gonna go ahead and just say the dregs.
Apocalypse does a lot of things to people,
right? So you have to imagine, and I'm so glad you said that. I think some really shitty stuff happened to him that put him in this situation. And I feel like this is a move of crazy desperation. Because the thing is, though, if he was in a good position, he would have aligned himself with his friend and said, "Hey, Ellen, me and you, man, we go way back. Let's make things happen, so on and so forth." For him to say, "I need to come out, come at my friend to get his ATM," it's ethereal ATM. He doesn't even know if it's even there, and align with a this. Again, humanoid army. it just sounds suspect all around. Like I think he's off his rocker right now. He's unhinged.
Yeah.
It's because he's been through something that we haven't been privy to yet.
Yeah. Does Justice even matter at this point?
He does. There's a reason. I mean, it just he matters. It's kind of the same way as the second army coming in. When Set's army comes in, it creating the fact that you have now a third player is a big pivotal thing in a wartime engagement. But then having this wild card variable come in, not even human wild card variable come in, yeah, he's gonna matter. I don't know how, but he's gonna matter. So
yeah,
I look at Justice and the Kolos army as a power, but a power that could be turned in any direction that needs to be turned in. I have a theory that just kind of like popped into my head over the last 30 minutes that, well, they're trying to control these beasts. These beasts are better off. These Kolos are known for just roaming through the woods and wreaking havoc in no particular, agenda or form or fashion. They're warriors and they roam the lands and they cause destruction. Okay. But Justice, I think, has somehow managed to civilize, as Sazed points to, and he also points to it by saying civilization is nothing to write home about. Like, don't be so proud about the fact that you've civilized this Kolos army. I think that he's civilized this army to an extent, not a whole lot, but he's got them under enough control to where like they're not, killing a captured prisoner that they just found hanging from the top of a tree, but they're under the influence of Justice. But I don't think that's saying much because, they walk into the tent. This guy's pacing around, very nervous, not comfortable with where he's at. He is desperately trying to make a last stand because he's been exiled from Luthadel and the nobility has been pushed out. I think, maybe the coin pouches are money. That's, Justice has money still and he's paid the army off and they're looking at these pouches as well. We'll, hold on to this and listen to you for as long as this lasts. But I think I see this being a pivotal point where Sazed could potentially go back and say, hey, like there's a third army you guys don't know about, but the control of that army is unwavering, or it is wavering, and we could potentially use this to our advantage. And maybe they make an alliance with Justice and say, Justice, like, you have no hope. Like, you don't have control. You need us to help you control this army. So I don't know. This is like pretty, it's new information, but like this could be the kind of straw in the camel's back that allows the Luthadel, foothold with Elend and team to gain more of an advantage over Straff and Set's army. That's kind of my thoughts right now on it.
Yeah.
Let me go back to something you said because I really want to explore it a little bit more. If those sacks, the little scrotum sacks, actually have coins in them, right?
Not testes.
Yeah, they don't have testes. They have actual coins. They have monies. Magnet with the monies. What do they use the money for? I mean, these guys don't seem like the currency carrying kind of dudes.
They wear loincloths. They're not really that much of a possession. So.
Yeah, so
maybe they're dumb enough to fall for it.
Oh, so just some shiny shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
those are the shiny.
It's just the shiny. It's like my dude from Moana, the shiny crab. He's like, it's shiny.
Tomoto.
Oh yeah, he does have an interesting name, doesn't he? Yeah, but that's a great scene though.
My kids watch Moana a lot. So will the Kolos army remain?
Kid, aka my wife, watched it all the time. She was up on that thing. She watched that on a loop.
Nice.
Sorry, Stan, putting you under the
So
bus.
Zool says, "Will the Colossus army remain in control?" And Kate says, "Is the Colossus complete wild card, or is there something? Do they have it in game?" So kind of a similar type questions. Do you think they'll be in control, or are they just completely a wild
I
card?
don't think they're a wild card. I think they're.
I got the
definitely
bricks.
Yeah.
You know, the worst thing you can do is assume that they have no agenda.
Yeah,
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
The worst thing you can do is assume that they have no agenda and they don't care.
So
They have an agenda. You just might not know what it is.
I think they're the wild card, like the Charlie from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Have you seen that episode?
Wild card bitches.
Mhm.
Wild card
Mhm.
bitches.
That's right. That's
You
right.
got the
You jump out
brains,
the
you
back
got
of
the
the van.
bronze, and Charlie's in the
Right.
back. It's like,
Yep.
what role do you play, Charlie? He goes, I'm the wild card. You're the
I'm
wild
wild
card. It's
card.
like,
That's right.
what do you
That's
do?
right.
I got the breaks. Wild
That's right. That's right. It's one where the gang solves the no. They make money off of the fuel crisis.
Yeah, the gas crisis.
Yeah. Of course, every time I think about Charlie, I think about Pepe Sylvia.
Yeah.
You know, the whole thing with the string all over the board. And Pepe Sylvia. Yeah.
It's
Always
funny.
Sunny in Philadelphia. Always good. Always good.
So one of the executive producers, David Hornsby,
yeah, man. Who's actually Cricket? Cricket.
Who's actually Cricket, is
Yeah.
from Newport News.
Oh, I didn't know that. Damn.
Yeah, Will knows that. So he's part of the Hornsby family. So,
Really? I didn't
Mhm.
know this. What up? Yeah, I love that dude. I listened to the of course I watched every episode and I listened to the podcast as well.
yeah.
So
Newport
yeah,
News.
and
Tied to Hollywood.
that's what's
Yeah.
up, man. Hey, we got some Newport News got some representation. That's all I'm saying.
There you go.
Damn.
So yeah.
Alright.
What was the last comment? What is wampum?
Wampum. That used to be a
Wampum.
phrase that was actually used between Native Americans to actually represent any type of currency was wampum.
Oh,
Yeah.
So that's the currency.
maybe it's wampum.
Nice wampum.
Yep.
All right, you guys ready to move on to the next chapter?
Yep.
Chapter 20.
Let's go.
All right. So we start this chapter and they're all meeting. Ellen's meeting with the whole Kel crew, as I call it these days. Even though Kel's not there. So Dockson's there, Ham, Breeze. Who all's there? Ham, Breeze, Clubs. Yeah, pretty much everyone. Vin and Osir and Tyndwyl are also there, just kind of observing as they're talking. They're not really contribute that much, and they're kind of just going over the plans for the parlay between Ellen and Strath. And you know, the crew's kind of hesitant about this, thinking it's kind of, you know, you're kind of playing all your cards at this point. If this fails, we all fail, kind of thing. And is there a better way? And Ellen's like, I don't see another way. I think this is what we have to do. And, you know, they're kind of going back and forth like, well, can we think of something else? Because this is kind of like, you know, playing all your cards.
Yeah.
And, you know, Ellen states his plan was to play Straff and Set against each other, go meet with both of them and say, like, yeah, I'm working for both of you. And it's like, and Breeze is even like, yeah, it sounds good. But like, once they find out, we're screwed. Like you're assuming a lot of variables playing in your favor here.
And you only got one shot at it.
Right.
You
So,
know.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So thoughts about, you know, I guess Ellen's plan, this whole interaction and the back and forth.
So I don't think Strath is nearly as coordinated, or maybe he is more coordinated than I think he is. But I think that Alan is really underestimating exactly how much he knows his pops. Period. And I think he's also overestimating how much respect his pops is going to give him. And so I think it's just a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
All around.
Yeah. I mean, also, yeah. Any thoughts, Will?
I just want
Disaster.
them to make it happen. I want them to get it over with. They've been talking about this meetup for so long. I just want them to do it.
Just do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about Ellen's a little bit more kingly demeanor? I mean, even Vin kind of notes to it a little bit. I mean, I think he's learning a lot from Tyndwyl, and he's carrying himself a little bit better.
Progressed. He's progressed pretty quickly.
He's leveling up.
Yeah, I kind of got a love-hate relationship with the whole him getting more regal.
Yeah.
I don't know, something about it. I feel like he's starting to disconnect a little bit from his ideals, his personal ideals, and that to me
Yeah.
is like, that's not a good look on you. You know, it's like when I'm trying to think of, like, movies I've watched where somebody gets like, that was like a thing that happened in the 80s, like someone got like, like, oh, I'm from the wrong side of the tracks, and then they get in with the popular crew, and then they lose themselves in the popular crew or something like that. So it's a trope, obviously, and I feel like this is the same kind of trope. I feel like he's getting indoctrinated into this whole, experience of, like, being regal and royal and etc. And yeah, maybe that's going to give him a little bit more respect with the aristocracy, royalty, nobility, maybe the merchants, etc. But at what cost? I mean, what does he lose, by not being accessible to the people? If he's like, acting almost, because it's going to come up later. She's like, oh, you let people call you by your first name. And he's like, okay, well, you need to start calling me your majesty then. And it's like, okay, well, he's going to start getting acclimated to that. What kind of head trip does that give him? And what is that going to do to his crew? I'm going to go ahead and just steal, your comment earlier, Will. Crew, Krew, right? I mean, what happens when you start, almost creating a separation between yourself and the people who have gotten you to where you are? So I'm not the biggest fan.
Okay.
I just feel like he's kind of going down the wrong path. I'd be happier if I heard he was reading more books.
Yeah.
Yes, FYI.
There you go. Also, what do you think about Vin's kind of inner dialogue, or she's having in her head about everything during this? She's thinking about Ellen, and he does love me, and then thinks about what it's kind of torn between that and what Zane had told her. We don't belong in this world. We belong in the mist. You don't belong with them. So she's outside looking in. I mean, this is all from her point of view. So she's watching all this happening. And while all they're having the real conversation, all she's thinking about is, at least in the beginning of this, is like, why am I even here? Like, am I a tool? Like, Zane's definitely getting to her. So
yeah,
wanted to know thoughts on all that.
Dude, the way it's depicted, it almost feels like Vin hasn't had as much of a role in the last few chapters. Like, almost like she's getting phased out, and like more of the focus is obviously being placed on Ellen and his role as the king. I put in quotes because, like, he's a king. But between the comments Zane has made to Vin, and then how the dynamic is shifting between Vin not having Kelsier, and then now Ellen's changing his persona to fit the shoes that he has been put into. Vin is definitely like second guessing the relationship she has with Ellen, and B, her role in and of itself. Like, if she needs to be, I feel like Vin is going to get to a point where she's going to say, well, I don't have a role, serving the crew. I don't have a relationship with Ellen. I need to go off and do my own. I think like she's like heading towards that like rogue direction.
Sure.
So yeah, that's my 2 cents on that aspect.
Yeah. Yeah. Nah, good points. And then during all this, Doxson brings up like counterfeit money in the city, and Ellen just kind of brushes him off, saying like, we got bigger things to worry about right now than counterfeit money. Like, let's get focused on armies that are literally trying to invade us. Like, we don't need to worry about a little counterfeit money going on in the city right now.
That to me was a throwaway line. This got a lot more gravity to it than we understand right now.
That could cause so many problems.
Yeah.
I mean, look, you're already talking about you don't know who the actual king is because there's no anointing right now. And then when you start talking about the introduction of currency that makes all other currency suspect,
Mm-hmm.
Recipe for disaster. That's all you need. And there's already this, kind of precarious situation going on with the merchants. That was like a throwaway line, and I was like, oh shoot, that is not good. That is not good at all.
Let the assembly handle that. Oh well, now they're just gonna totally do whatever they can to take power away from
counterfeit. You. No, counterfeit. That's trouble. That's huge trouble.
Yeah,
especially since you don't have atium to fall back on. If you had atium, sure, that automatically, solves that issue. But now you got counterfeit money. No.
Mm-hmm. And then during all this, Vin decides to say, well, she starts thinking about the imposter. So she says, let me go burn some bronze and see if I can sense anything. And, she targets Breeze. My boy Breeze.
Your boy Breeze.
My boy Breeze.
You can't say my boy Breeze. It's got to be your boy Breeze. Somebody's got to say it to you. You can't say it. It doesn't sound right when you say my boy. Nope. It's got to be somebody's got to say your boy Breeze.
All right. Fair enough. So Breeze. Yeah. So she targets
your boy Breeze.
Your boy Breeze.
There you go. Thank you. So, he's burning bronze and she gets that from, but she starts, trying to focus, closes her eyes, and she's like, I don't care if they even notice I'm doing something weird in the corner.
By the way, she keeps talking about these wavelengths that happen. It's like this reverberation is probably the wrong term, but it's like, it's like a vibration that happens.
Like the pulse.
Pulse. Thank you. That's much better. Much simpler word that means a much better way of saying the thing I was trying to say. Pulse.
And she's like, I wonder if I can figure out exactly what he's doing. So she decides, well, I got a trick up my sleeve. So she turns her tin off and burns Duralium, which of course flares her bronze, and she just briefly gets it all, like just as a sudden jolt. And
all the emotions. Boom.
Yeah. Yes. Anxiety, nervous, worry, insecurity. Anxiety, nervous, worry, insecurity, and then it cuts off. And she's, because it burns out immediately. And she's like, that's weird. And she thinks about it. She goes, wait, he's a soother. He's taking away those things. He's doing it towards Ellen. And she thinks to herself, like, Breeze puts up this whole act, but deep down inside, the guy has a huge heart. And she starts thinking about Kel.
That whole thing was great. It was great from beginning to end, how that was explained. The moment she burns the Duralium to the moment she comes to the realization of what he's been doing, where he puts on this like persona of like, I'm fucking with you, young buck. But the whole time he's actually building him up, which makes so much sense, because if it was overt that he was actually soothing him or making him feel the way he wanted, then it doesn't instill the confidence he needs to be strong going forward. But if he does this public act of like, oh, you don't know what the hell you're doing, but the whole time he's actually building you up internally. I got respect for your boy Breeze. I got respect for your boy Breeze. All right.
Breeze is a good guy. Deep down inside, he is.
Great guy.
He's a great guy.
Yes. All right.
And she gets a little, and by doing this, she gets a little bit about Breeze's actual character. He puts up this whole entire show, like you're saying, but deep down inside, he does care. And she was wondering that too. Like the whole crew, like Breeze always seemed like the oddball out, like that just didn't care about anybody else, because he always puts the front up, like he cares about himself and doesn't care about anybody else.
Right.
And that's his persona. He, comes across as like he's just a pompous asshole that's just like, pour my wine for me. But deep down inside, he cares. He really does, and he's doing it as an act to actually get to, like you said, build someone up even more. So good old Breeze, love him. And she thinks, you're a good man, Breeze. You're merely just trying your best to hide it.
You're one of the good ones.
You're one of the good ones. So after all that, Ellen bids farewell to his crew and goes to talk with Tyndwyl some more. So we get to your favorite character, Orlando. Your girl, Tyndwyl.
This lady. All right. No, I got
Ellen immediately. Well, question mark. You're an embarrassment. Tyndwyl says standing. So yeah, keeps going on. King should be strong. Going on. Just about getting respect and how he should act, and Yeah, more Tyndwyl lessons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So she is basically the Auntie Miyagi of of trainers. I mean, just good God, this is I mean, I get it being short and what have you, but she's sus for me all around. I hate her. I hate her.
Wasn't she your favorite character last episode?
No, because she's like, I don't
Wait,
know.
is she a Condra? Do you think she's a Condra candidate?
I feel like she is so obvious that if that was the case, I'd be like, Sanderson, hang it up. Don't write anymore.
Yeah.
Don't write anymore because, I mean, she would be the most.
But last episode, wasn't she your favorite, though?
Okay. So I like her coming in. I like her coming in and strong arming her way into the group. But I feel like the way she's running things now, she's doing everything to kind of, I don't know, upend everything. And I'm like,
I notice your friends are calling you by your name. And they should be calling you.
She's creating separation. Yeah, so she's like causing separation, and that's my problem. Is it's like these are the people that got him where he is, and now she's like really just creating a divide there, and I'm like, no, I hate you now.
Toxic. I think toxic is a good word.
Man, toxic is a great word.
You have to rule like you're the best. You are the best for the kingdom, and you have to rule this way. Otherwise, if you don't think you're the best, you need to get out of the way. Hopefully, with an heir.
There's a lot of you're going to make mistakes. Usually with suicide. If you make mistakes, that's fine. Just go ahead and do the thing because mistakes are going to be made. You're still better than chaos. And I'm like, that sounds like the things a dictator says.
Have you seen Tyndwyl use Farakini?
I mean, I haven't. I mean,
no.
Again, this is if she is the Conjure, this is really, really low hanging fruit right now.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, yeah, but I'm just not a fan. I'm not a fan of. And then the whole little like let me get your emotions riled up about Vin. That whole thing is like
yeah. Why am
I just say I rolled my eyes a lot. Right around this whole sequence here, I was like, here we go. All right.
Yeah.
So I liked her, and Will, you're right. I mean, I liked her a lot better at the beginning. I don't like her now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, though, I mean, you got to temper that, right? I mean, you can't come in. It's like a nun coming in rapping your knuckles the whole damn time. It's like, okay, at some point in time, stop rapping knuckles and just be like, okay, well, let me try and teach you some things or whatever. But I mean, sure, terrorismen, blah, 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 different cultural ways to interact with people, et cetera, et cetera. But I just feel like I don't like the way she's trying to create this divide. And I don't know. And this reason, by the way, the other reason I don't think that she's the Conjure is because if the Conjure is the spy, by the way, this is what I thought at the beginning, Conjure spy. I created congruence there.
That's fine.
If you were a spy, putting her in such a high profile position would make absolutely no sense. A person who's come in who nobody has any affiliation with, she has minor credibility and is just like been thrust into position to manipulate things with the king. It doesn't sound like spy craft. And so that's the reason why I was like, this is not the Conjure, this is not the spy. If it is, great, fine, sure, but I would say this is the crappiest game of Splinter Cell I've ever played in my life.
Nice. All right.
I think she's on a power trip. She's trying to use Ellen for her own gain, right? She's trying to like manipulate him so that she can ride the coattails up with him if he's successful. But one thing that I noticed that I think is really interesting is that she's a terroristman. Sazed is a terroristman, but when you compare the two of them and how they act, she is so like manipulative, like controlling, whereas Sazed is observant and then passing that knowledge on, trying to help people, like letting them learn for themselves. It's such like a stark contrast when they're from the same race of terrace people or whatever. I think that contrast there is interesting. I don't really know what it means, but I guess getting back to what we were talking about, like she's manipulating the shit out of Ellen, and like that's not good. But I'm like, yo, my boy Sazed, he's coming back.
Okay. And I cannot wait for them to.
Yo, there's gonna be an interaction.
Think about the way Sazed talked to Vin, getting her into dealing with the nobility and the aristocracy, and the way that Miss Thang is talking to Ellen. And I'm like, it just doesn't feel the same. But yet still you would think the way that this, I'm going to call them a society when I'm referring to the terrorism in general, the way that they like, support the people they work with. I don't get that vibe with this lady. I feel like she's on a different level and toxic, and like Will's saying, and I feel like it wouldn't be surprising to me if it comes out to, we find out that she's been like ostracized and thrown out from all kinds of places, and she killed a puppy, that kind of stuff. So I don't like her.
Okay.
Now I don't like her, just to be honest. So I liked her before. Don't like her now.
Fair enough. And then we get to sure. So then
Alan's got to be Raffo. He's Raffo. He's like reading far out.
Yeah, no, I can't tell you anything.
He's like, let me show you through my emotions.
We breezed down. We breezed over the whole thing with the marriage and Vin thing, but that is what it is. I don't think we have to talk about that too much. It is what it is. And then we end the chapter with a messenger arriving. That is Set's daughter. It's not a messenger. Sorry. Someone approaches and Ellen says, "Is it a messenger?" And goes, "No, it's Set's daughter. Come looking for Breeze."
Asking for Breeze. Random.
Yeah. Well, remember he was running away from being killed from Set's army, and they asked if he slept with this. He's like, I wouldn't do that. Now the daughter's coming. Good old Breeze.
I'm sorry. I read the end of this chapter, listened to the end of this chapter, and I was like, I make no assumptions here.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, great. It's probably trying to, do a little pseudo cliffhanger thing right there, but I was more pissed off about
when Straight has to kick the dog and kill the puppy. It's a whole new level. What's that? What we pass up?
Miss Straight passed.
Yeah. Alana was talking about how she's been ostracized from other realms because she,
and I said because she probably killed a puppy, right?
Puppy.
Yeah, and it's true because but if she's kicking a dog, she could go kick Orseer. Who cares? But no,
Orseer cares.
No, she would go and kick Orseer. That's what I'm saying. Since he is a dog now.
Yeah.
So no, she went straight to kill a puppy, right? So she's like, hey, by the way, that's my third dog reference to the episode because I said Scrappy Doo. I said that my boy is Scrappy Doo.
Scrappy Doo.
Whatever his name. Master of the Flapskins.
Jasties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have 1,000 nicknames for these things. By the way, by the end of this,
Master of the Flapskins. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, bag of antlers is one thing. Sure, Scott Stank is one thing, but me thinking about the various ways that these things gross me out, I'm gonna have nicknames for them for days. For days.
Can the young flapmen use their flaps to fly?
Maybe.
See, I don't know that. I don't want to see. what I don't want you doing is putting that out in the world, because what's going to happen is someone's going to like go on Deviant Art and like draw that, and I don't want to see that.
I would love nothing more than to have a
Great, here we
hoodie.
go.
Hoodie
Thank-
with
thank-
that on it.
Lord have mercy.
Just a flat.
A hoodie with
flat-
flaps on your
Just-
arms.
Just
So,
just Skin Flaps McGee.
yeah,
Just-
skin flaps.
I need a wind sock. I need a wind sock.
What? What? Oh.
So-
Why do I keep
Blue
showing
wind
up?
sock.
Why do I keep showing up? I don't know. Why do I keep showing up this podcast?
Because
blue
you
wind
love this.
sock
You love it.
with a testy pouch and a sword.
Oh, the testy pouch, though. You redeem yourself. You. That's a Dumb and Dumber reference right there. You know, every time I think you can't do something stupid, more stupid than you did last time, you go do something else and totally redeem yourself. There you go, Will. There you go. You redeem yourself with the scrotum sacks.
Cheers, my friend.
Oh,
Colas
always.
wind
Oh,
sock.
that's right. I forgot to say what I was drinking. So this is Bowman.
Oh, nice.
Whiskey, finished in port barrels.
We learned at isn't it Buffalo Trace Juice is Bowman's? We learned that at
Buffalo Trace owns everything, so I
know.
wouldn't be surprised.
But
they
no, that's
own
what
Weller.
that's what your boy at Steak and Tonic was saying, that it's
Oh,
Buffalo
yeah,
Trace
yeah,
Juice
yeah,
and then
yeah,
brought
yeah.
over and then distilled and finalized in Virginia, so it's called a Virginia bourbon, Bowman Brothers, even though it's Kentucky Buffalo Trace
Yep.
Juice.
Yep.
Everything's Buffalo Trace Juice, by the way.
Yeah, Reese is my boy.
Everything good is that they had the best bourbon whiskey.
But they know the stuff they like, and they acquire what they know is like, this is brilliant, and I can't knock them for that. They don't have like just garbage stuff. So
yeah.
hey, Will, I don't know
Colas
what that
Wind
means.
Sock.
Star. Yes.
They're up arrows
To the Colas hashtag Colas
Colas
Windsock.
Oh, those are up arrows. Oh, on my screen, they're like, I have this like big wide screen, so like everything's like super tiny.
I
Oh, that
pressed,
didn't help. Ugh.
Shift
I tried to do
6.
something. Yep.
Shift 6.
Whatever the kick you off the stream. What's the code to kick you off? We did
To
the
kick
first
me off?
episode. No, the first episode, like it was alt something, and it dropped off the
F4.
stream. No.
Oh man.
Bring back good old gaming days. What's the hotkey?
So back in the
It's alt
day,
F4.
back in the day, we used to do that all the time. It was like, hey, Control X. That
Yeah.
of course
Whoa.
now Control X has a completely different meaning, and Control
Yeah.
C. Those are the two. I mean, so now it's like copy and like Control X,
Yeah.
whatever.
Alt
Anyway,
F4.
cut. But back in the day, Control X, if you had like a DOS screen, it would do that, or Control C would do that. We were like, they were like, oh man, I'm in this game, it's not working right. It's like, oh, hit Control C, and it would dump them out the game. Like, we'd be laughing. Yeah,
See ya.
yeah.
We see it all the time in online gaming. Just like, yeah, hit alt F4, it fixes it. You got a bug?
Oh,
if
yeah,
you're
right.
stuck. You hit alt F4. They're
Mhm.
gone. Anyway, favorite character. Or anything else we missed? Anything else you want to talk about from these chapters before favorite character?
No.
No. Okay.
Mm-mm.
Favorite character.
Sazed.
Sazed.
Nice.
Sazed. That's great.
So I'm gonna go ahead and drop your boy Breeze, because I like the fact that he's Breeze this time.
I'm sticking to Cole.
I got the feels. I got the feels literally reading that passage. The whole thing about like what he's been doing, and it's like you think he's playing a mind game, but he's actually playing a mind game to build you up. I was like, yeah. I got some feels on that one. I was like, yeah. Breeze. Yeah, boy. All right.
You're a good man, Charlie Brown.
You're a good man, Charlie Brown. You and your 2 squiggle hairs on top of your bald head.
Good.
Do it, Charlie Brown.
Mine's Colas number 3. Not
Oh, he's just like, I like killing fools that I hate. I hate you.
Alondo needs a stuffed Colas for Christmas. Let's see if we can make that happen, guys.
Oh, good God! Please no.
Can we make a Kickstarter? Can we make a
Kickstarter. Oh, we're gonna start a Kickstarter for Alondo's stuff.
Oh here's the deal, and I have always said this since the beginning of time. If someone gives me a gift, I never throw it away, and I always feature it. One time, because I mean, my nickname's Doughboy. A friend of mine got me a Doughboy, Pillsbury Doughboy. It is over on my desk, on my shelf right now. I always feature it. My rule is if you give me something and you put in the thought to give me something, I have to feature it. If I'm given this gift, I would have to feature it right here in the corner. It would stay there every podcast episode. So please don't, so that way I do not have to do that, because there's no way I would throw it away. I would be like, wow, people are nice enough to get me something. I'm going to just feature it. So,
yeah. Which I told Alondo, I don't think Will's on yet. So just to let you know as well, Colas Head Munching Day is Brandon Sanderson's birthday. That's what the fandom calls Brandon Sanderson's birthday is Colas Head Munching Day. So Colas is very, very loved in the community.
Yeah, not me. Not me.
I'm gonna dig into this stuffed animal thing. So,
oh God, damn it, Will.
I already pulled up the site for Build-A-Bear, and I'm working on it. Jesus.
Again, and I'm committed to the idea. Look, if it's given to me, I have to feature it. I promise I will feature it. It will be there. I don't want it to be there, but again, I always respect when I'm given a gift. I make sure I respect the fact that the gift is given. So
yeah. Well, considering that your wife's not reading, unlike Will's wife, she'll just look, what the hell is this?
Yeah. So now I have to go out to Build-A-Bear and buy up every scrap of blue material they have. So if you can excuse me, I have thousands of dollars to spend for no reason. They'll be like, what are you doing this? I'm like, I need incinerated immediately, please. Thank you.
Good times. So next week we're doing 4 chapters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The same amount of time, or is it's a longer read?
It's let me see. It is actually exactly 12 words longer read than what we just read.
12 words.
What? Because I got a spreadsheet with all the word counts.
Yeah, there's there's so many sites now. It's so much better now than it was back when I was. I wish I was in school and had to do book reports, that they would give you that kind of breakdown so that we could actually say, well, this.
You can go online and get statistical analysis. I got a spreadsheet that has the word count for every episode we do, just so I'm trying to average around the same.
I'm thinking about middle school and high school, 80s and stuff, and I was like, oh, well, we had no resources like that back then. We had to just
this. Yep. This episode was 12,426 words we read. Next is 12,438. So literally 12 more words. So it's a little longer. 12 more words longer. But it's same. Sorry. My spreadsheets are a little insane, but it is what it is.
All right.
So 4 chapters.
I love organization. I love organization and stuff. This stuff is in my wheelhouse. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not the longest episode we've done. We've done longer. I mean, in the first book we had a couple of
we had some episodes there for because
22,000 words. Yeah,
generally I break it down because I do audiobooks. Obviously, 2.5 hours of reading generally. There's been, I feel it was 2 episodes we've done over 3 hours of reading that I had to do.
End of the first book was a long one just because at that point it's the center lunch. I think the end of every single book is going to be like that.
I assume. Yeah,
not this book actually, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
Heroes of Ages will be long, but yeah. So
gotcha. And I'll also share the fact that I told Alan before everything started. I was like, I still feel like this is a pretty slow book in my opinion.
These 3 chapters were a nice uptick. But overall,
you're not been Alan sheets yet. That's a whole thing from the Will reads.
I've been all up in Alan sheets. You don't want to hear about me and Alan sheets. I've been all up in Alan
hasn't?
sheets. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, the
Who
sheets.
hasn't been in
The
Alan
sheets.
Sheets? Come on.
Oh yeah, the sheets are extreme.
Yeah.
The spreadsheets. I love my Excel. But yeah, I have not started pivot tables yet for this. But yeah, one day.
Man, me and pivot tables. Look, as a database guy, me and pivot tables. Dude.
Yeah, that like blew my mind and opened a whole new world for me when I discovered how to make pivot tables. It was just like, you mean I can do that? Like, there's so much now I can do with Excel. Like, it becomes such.
He heard about pivot tables. He was like, "Oh, you saucy little minx, you."
Yeah. How do you know? Oh,
nice.
Will's gonna go look it up now. Pivot tables. Yeah.
I know what pivot tables are. Thank you very much.
Hey, it's right. He's IT guy too. He knows.
IT guy.
He knows.
Okay.
He knows the
I'm
deal.
not. I will not say that I'm a novice. I'm a very beginner pivot table user. However, I do understand they are quite the amazing contraption, and I hope to. Maybe I could take some notes. You guys want to do a side cast on pivot tables? Maybe
Look.
pivot table.
As a database guy, let me tell you one of the best things I ever heard of though, like 7 or 8 years ago, the unpivot. Oh man, in database terminology, what?
I don't know what the fuck that is.
Changed my world. I mean, being able to put things the other direction, I was like, wait, I can take some of these summarized data and then turn it into actual record information so I can do my own thing with it. Boo, yeah.
Wow.
Anyway. Again, it's some database nerd-ish.
Yeah.
Should we do an episode based around pivot tables and pivot tables?
Pivot tables.
Hey, by the way,
if you get some
anybody who's in Excel, Lyra Garani, I feel like it's her name. She does all Excel stuff, and she is like a uber master. I'll put it in the chat real quick. I highly recommend this lady. She is on top of it, and she gets because she's like a Microsoft MVP or something. She gets access to the new versions of Excel functionality before everybody else does.
Damn.
Yeah.
Microsoft MVP. That's not something to disregard.
Oh no, it's a big deal. Yeah. Any of those guys that are in that category, you got to respect them.
And then if you can get if you have the ability to link your Excel spreadsheets to online data and have it pull and live update, that's always fun too. But yeah, anyway, there's a way to do that.
We're talking about some screen scraping. Hey,
there's a code you can use. You can actually pull from Google and stuff like that and pull data in, and it automatically updates as the website updates. So if you're doing trading, it's actually really cool because like investment trading, because you can have the tickers update automatically onto your Excel spreadsheet and then flow through the other tables, and yeah, it's fun. Anyways, so
get in that.
Anyway, so how we can be found is at thecosmicreads.com. Where you can find links to all our cool stuff. That site is working right now, unlike the willreads.com, which is not working. So go check out that website to find links to our Discord and everything like that. The Will Reads will be working again soon. I have to pay a bill that I've been lazy about and haven't paid yet. Maybe I'll pay tonight. I'll probably go to bed though and forget about it next
week. An Excel spreadsheet to help you keep your payments in track, man. Come on now.
Well, no, I switched banks. So
that's right. You were talking about this thing.
I switched banks. So all the automatic payments I had set up are like now trying to go to the bank that's closed, and like bank account's closed, and I'm like, I have to go through all these things as they're, because I don't even remember what I'm signed up for, and this is just me. I probably should have an Excel spreadsheet that actually had all that tracking. I just knew the number, and and now it's like I'm getting all these emails like your payment was denied. I was like, oh crap, I forgot to switch that one. So I'm slowly turning everything back on.
You sound like hood people who are like, well, see, what had happened was I moved my money from this account to this account, and I forgot to move my checking account numbers over to the new.
Hey, it's a lot of
what
stuff.
Had happened was.
That's right. You know what had happened was.
Yeah, what happened was. So, anyways, it will be up. Everything will be up and running by the end of the month once I finally figure everything out. Once I figure my life out and get my life back together, we'll get there.
When is that going to be? Does that ever happen? Is that a thing?
I heard
what these guys life together.
Yeah, I hear it happens sometime in the next, like, when you're around Alondo's age or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I'm
have a
super
family
old. I'm
that-
almost 50. Shh, we getting up there.
Yeah.
And I'm only like a year and some change away.
Yeah.
50 coming
Anyways,
soon.
so check out the website, find links to our merchandise, to Discord, to our Patreon, all that good stuff. If you raise enough money on Patreon, we will buy Alondo a nice Funko Pop of a Colossus.
Okay. I'll accept it. I will accept it. I promise you.
You get a little Funko Pop or whatever. The little,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Fine. I will accept your little flappy skin gift.
The floppy skin. I'll just send him a blanket. It's just a blue blanket. Like, it's just a scan left over.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, God. No.
Just a blue blanket.
Geez. No. No. And if it's like a weighted blanket too? No.
That's what we'll do. So anyway, so yeah, that's all I got for this
Where
week.
do these ideas come from? Did someone like incept that into you? Okay, fine. All right.
Until next time, guys.